Hi there, I'm Sarah Gallegos, host of Fonts and Porter's Love of Quilting, and I want to spend a couple of minutes today showing you some of my favorite features of the Laurastar Lift steam system in my quilting studio. Now, a lot of people think of a steamer and think garments. I don't make a lot of garments, but I sure do find a lot of uses for this in quilting. So here I've got the Laurastar Lift, and this is a very handy piece that is easy to fill the water tank. It's got a space on the back to store the iron when it's not in use. And the cord even wraps all the way around the Laurastar so I can set it to the side and get it out of the way when I'm not using it. And I'm going to set this on the ground. It's very easy to move around and show you a couple of the things that I like to do with it. Now, that little sound that we just heard is just the system bringing a little bit more water into the tank and heating it up. You'll hear that happen from time to time. Now, there is a convenient cord manager that comes with it. I don't have it attached to the cord manager right now because I want to show you something on the design wall, but it really helps to keep the cord out of the way as you are pressing. So here I've got an extremely wrinkled piece of fabric that just came out of the wash. And I really love that I can easily place my Laurastar right onto that fabric, give a little burst of steam, and I steam away, and then I just use the heat coming back toward me, and the Laurastar actually gives me a dry steam. A lot of times when I've worked with steamers in the past, especially on my garments, I found that my clothes are a little damp afterwards, but not with the Laurastar Lift because it's got a special dry steam system. So it's really easy to work with. It's also not as hot, so I'm not burning my fingers as I'm steaming my fabric. So I love this for pressing the wrinkles out of the fold line, say I'm working with a quilt back, or even just after I've washed my fabrics and they come out of the dryer very wrinkled. Now let me show you how I like to use it with a quilt block. I don't always steam when I am pressing out my quilt blocks. So as I'm setting that seam, I can just use this very nice hot Laurastar without the steam setting, press that seam open, and now that my block is set, a lot of times before I finalize it, then I'm going to give it a little gust of steam to make sure that all of the points, I've got a lot of flying geese in this quilt block, are laying nice and flat, just like that. And then I know that I've got a nice, square, stable piece ready for me to apply to my quilt. Now, I keep placing the Laurastar on this little sole plate. It's really handy. You can put it anywhere that you need. It protects your iron. So you do leave it face down when you're not working with it, but it's on that sole plate. Now, one of my very favorite ways to use my Laurastar is when I'm working with a fusible backing or fusible batting. Here I've got a little quilt top that I made, and I'm just going to quilt this on my domestic quilting machine. I'm not going to long arm it. So I've got a fusible batting here. Now the Laurastar comes with a Teflon sole plate. It's really easy just to place that Laurastar right into the sole plate, snaps right into place, and now I've got a non-stick surface, so I don't have to worry as I press this little quilt to my fusible batting about messing up the bottom of my iron. So now I can take this right over to the wall. It's got a nice long cord, and I've got my quilt just kind of laying here on the batting, and I can easily give just a little gust of steam. I'm working on my favorite design wall here, and it quickly and smoothly fuses that quilt to my fusible batting. And I can just keep working around. And now I am ready to take that quilt right to my sit-down quilter. It's fused in place really nicely. I'll kind of show you there. It's nice and fused. I just need to work on the edges and I am ready for quilting. So I hope that you'll check out the Laurastar steam system. Like I said, this little Laurastar Lift is so handy because I can move it around my quilting studio, and it even offers a sanitary steam. So if I need to go upstairs and steam my couch after my dogs have been playing on it, or even just get those wrinkles out of my curtains, it's really, really handy to be able to work with that steam system. I hope that you've enjoyed learning a little bit about the Laurastar Lift with me today. Go check one out for yourself.